All right. Well, thanks for joining me. We're going to try this again. It is Friday morning this time. We had some technical difficulties with Wednesday night's community chat, so we're going to relaunch it again. I'm joined this morning by Ben McVety, who will be helping BRIC out with some new esports initiatives, as well as setting up, the tournaments um, and gaming. All the fun little gaming toys and tools that we're going to be setting up here in the near future.
Looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, Ben has a really interesting background. He's a music educator by trade, but has a great experience putting together virtual choirs, setting up recording studios, and doing a lot of audio visual tech recording. And then he's also set up several esports programs and has coordinated those efforts in the scholastic systems that he's a part of. So yeah, why don't we start, Ben, with you telling us how you got into esports and kind of your experience setting up esports programs.
Sure. The school that I work for has this period of the day called an interest period. And that period is kind of where our students can choose an interest that they are interested in and pursue that. So that can be pretty much anything from like ultimate frisbee to video games to Dungeons and Dragons to learning French. And so I was approached my first year at the school by a group of kids that wanted to learn competitive Super Smash Brothers. And so that's a game that I've been playing for a while. So I knew about the scene. I knew that I could support that. So it's kind of grown from there. I was approached this year from the athletics director who wanted to start an esports team at the school. And so they asked me to do that. So we launched a League of Legends esports team after some tryouts, and they placed pretty well. They got, I think it's 27th overall in the state of Georgia. There were 86 teams that
Cool.
took part in the winter season. So that was pretty exciting. We're looking forward to expanding it next year. We're looking to add it into additional games like Rocket League and hopefully Fortnite as well, which is pretty popular among the high school age kids. And we're kind of moving it from there.
Awesome. And then you guys have it set up too as a varsity sport, right?
Yeah, it's a varsity sport in the state of Georgia. It's sanctioned by the same rules that govern the varsity football team and soccer and all that stuff. So we have to make sure that we're adhering to those rules. Some of the more interesting rules that you wouldn't think would apply to us, but do, are like age limits of students. We have a number of students from China. My school's a boarding school. And we have a number of students from China that are actually too old to play in the League of Legends team because they're already 18, and you have to be there's like an age limit. So basically, they're above the age limit. So they were not able to play on the team, which was a little disappointing because they were some of the better players at the school. But we made do with our other students. So
Yeah. Cool. It's one of the things I've always really liked about the inclusion of esports in kind of the varsity sports setting is that with esports, you get this opportunity to not only have the players for the sports games, but also the entire infrastructure around the team. So like the people that are running statistics and the people that are running like the graphics and the casting and kind of the commentating. So it's really cool to see all that kind of jive.
yeah, and we've this season, just getting our feet under the getting our feet under ourselves and getting ready to go with the esports. I did stream all of our games, but there was no commentary.
Mhm.
I'm trying to develop a space where the students can play, and there's computers there for them, and maybe a little casting area to get some other student casters and commentators in there, and to keep track of stats and things like that, create splash screens and all that would be fabulous.
Yeah.
And this would be a great way to continue that and grow the program in that way. Currently, our school does not have a space for that, which is kind of limiting in terms of creating this place where people can congregate and watch. But hopefully, in the near future, we'll be able to create a space for that. They're doing some renovations and stuff at the school right now to try and update some of their workspaces. So hopefully, we'll be able to get something out of that. but we're still a work in progress.
Yeah. So you'll be helping us out with some of our esports tournaments and programs moving forward. Our first one is May 16th at noon. It's a Super Smash Brothers Ultimate Tournament, the Brick Bash 1. So we have that processing through Smash GG, and I'll include the links in the comments here so people can register for that if they want. We're pretty excited for it. And I know that recently too we've had some interest in doing some Fortnite tournaments, especially with their new like Party Royale stuff happening with I think that's actually tonight with like Dead Mouse and a bunch of other DJs where you can just go in and instead of competing, you just hang out and watch some DJs perform live.
Yeah, Fortnite, they're very unique in the gaming industry. They're doing a lot of different things, and it's kind of awesome to watch what they're doing. I mean, they're incorporating like album releases of artists and
Yep.
parties in the game and special one-time only events that you have to be like logged in to see, or you have to watch a video of it afterwards on YouTube. But you can take part in these things, and it's it feels special and unique because it's a one-time thing. It doesn't happen again, and pretty much no other video game out there is doing things like that.
Yeah.
There are some that do let's turn the world into Easter for Easter, or turn the world into Halloween for Halloween, like World of Warcraft, and a lot of the other games do that. Animal Crossing, they'll have special events like that, but it's just recurring seasonal thing, and you can get into it anytime, any year, or any same time any year. But yeah, it's very, very unique. Fortnite's interesting like that.
Yeah. So one of the things I wanted to chat with you about, I mean, you've always had this interest in recording and kind of the tech side of the AV industry. So I wanted to talk a little bit about setting up a home recording studio. A lot of people right now are turning towards podcasts and vlogs, and even have interest potentially in sharing some of their own content. So, how do you get started in a home recording setting? What are the kind of best practices, best equipment for people starting out?
Yeah. So, as I'm sure most people have experienced lately, the Google Meets or the Zoom meeting, with the kind of janky, laptop cameras and echoey audio, is just the most exciting thing to listen to for multiple hours on end every day. It warms my heart. And but if you want to get a bit more of a better quality on your audio or your video, it doesn't actually take that much money, and it improves it drastic amount, to get just a basic digital audio interface, or a way to move a microphone output into your computer. They're very easy. Guitar Center is the place that I went when I was starting out.
Mm-hmm.
There's very inexpensive audio interfaces that you can purchase from companies like Behringer or Scarlett, that are some of the most popular ones. I started out with a Scarlett 2i2 as the specific model. I think it's about $60, $50. It's pretty inexpensive when it comes to audio interfaces. And it gave me a way to plug in a microphone and get the input into my computer. And the audio quality increase from that versus a laptop microphone is drastic.
Mm-hmm.
And it really allowed me to start recording videos and doing some decent audio work without having to invest in more expensive equipment. Nowadays, I've upgraded, as you can kind of see in the background. I have an actual recording studio with decent microphones and stuff. But in terms of the entry-level microphones, again, Guitar Center, great place to go get this stuff. They carry Blue microphones, which is a great company. It's solid microphone for about $100, depending on the model that you get. And you get very good audio quality out of them. They're very easy to use. They're kind of plug and play, and off to the races you go with better audio. Very simple to set up on Macs, very simple to set up on PCs. Most of the time, you literally just plug it into your computer and it works. There are some times when it doesn't, but that's very few and far between. So my current setup is also just plug it in and it goes. And it's great to have just a little bit of better quality for people to listen to. And in terms of webcams, I'm just right now using a Logitech HD webcam. I got it 7 or 8 years ago. It's a really old model and it still
Yep.
works great. decent enough quality for doing Zoom meetings and things of that nature. If you're looking to do some slightly more advanced video production, Canon Rebel, that's a great entry-level DSLR camera. It takes good 1080p video as well. And as long as your lighting is good enough, you'll have a very nice quality video as well for not very much price. So those are my base recommendations for setting up something at home. And as long as you're not in a crazy echoey space, like a room with no furniture in it, or a garage or something like that, the sound quality, you won't hear too much echo in the background, which can be distracting. But if you're in a space like that, you may want to sound treat it just a little bit. But you don't need anything fancy like the panels on the walls. You just need some blankets or other sound absorbing materials, and spread them out close by to you or right behind your microphone, and it'll absorb all of the echo stuff, so you have a nice pure just your voice sound.
That's awesome. Yeah, we're talking about putting together like a higher end studio at BRIC where people can come in and record as well. So the room that we have planned is pretty echoey, and I'm thinking that's going to take a little bit of soundproofing to get it up to speed. But we're even talking about just having it kind of be like a shell where you're talking is really soundproof, and then the rest of the room is kind of a little bit more live.
And I do have a shell. I was thinking it was out, but it's in my closet. They do make shells that stand on microphone stands, and it has a foam padding, and it folds out and everything, and you can speak right into it without having to soundproof anything else.
Yeah.
So yeah, those do exist. So those are great alternatives, especially like if you're not, for some reason you're recording somewhere that you don't normally record and you don't have the means to soundproof it. That's a perfect alternative as well.
Yeah. Awesome. Very cool. Trying to think if I've got any more questions for today. As always, it's great to chat. Ben and I go back a long time, and I've always been really impressed by your audio and your AV work. You've done some really cool things with your choirs recently too. You've done some virtual conducting, and you did some in the past, some like one-man a cappella YouTube videos. And I know you've experimented on Twitch as well, streaming and playing that game. So I'm really excited to.
It's very interesting to try and teach a choir when you're not physically together. It's been a journey. So we've tried our best to continue learning pieces, and obviously we can't sing them all together at the same time. But I took kind of a book out of Eric Whitaker's. I took a page out of Eric Whitaker's book. He's been doing virtual choirs for years, and he's actually doing virtual choir 8 or 6, one of the two right now. And his virtual choirs have evolved over time to incorporate less words and more vowel shapes and more ethereal sounding works. And so the current one that he's doing, I think, is all just vowel shapes. It's very interesting, but we didn't do that. We're going down the route of a more traditional, singing the whole song. We chose the song Sogno di Volare. It's the theme song to Civilization 6 video game, and we're working on that right now. I'm right now in the process of editing all the videos together of all the students singing, and we're combining that with the original soundtrack and putting them together in a video. So it should be a good little tribute to our seniors who weren't able to sing at their own graduation and stuff and have the normal experience. So trying to do this as a little present to them instead, so.
Very cool. Yeah. It's tough. I feel for all the seniors that have a kind of a weird last experience for high school.
Yeah, it's crazy weird. I don't know how I'd handle it,
Yeah. Well, awesome, Ben. It was great to have you join me again. Thanks for hopping on. You came on late notice on Wednesday, and I'm glad you're able to join today too, so we can get a proper recording.
Yeah, it was fun. I'm happy I don't have a derpy face for half the video.
Yeah, for those that didn't join Wednesday, Ben Ben's audio was great, but he was frozen for the majority of the chat, so it was just one kind of awkward face the entire video. But yeah, I'll be in touch soon, and we'll catch up properly. And thanks again for coming out.
Yeah, thank you.